Good evening. This is Shannon McClellan with Hometown News, keeping you connected to your hometown. With me this evening, I have Canadian country music singer and songwriter Matthew Runaway. Matthew is from the beautiful town of Perth, and you may recognize his most recent single, Just Drive, as it's been getting some radio play on our radio waves recently. Matthew, thank you so much for taking time to chat with us this evening.
No problem. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. Now, I understand, so you're from the town of Perth. Where are you calling home these days?
These days, I actually just bought a place on Lake Erie near Simcoe, Ontario. But obviously, I like to come home as much as I can, providing the pandemic, right? But
absolutely. Traveling is a little bit difficult right now, but nice that you're not so far away that you can't come home for visits here and there. Now, I understand that country music isn't necessarily where you started. It's where you've ended up. I read that you were part of a rock band called Aspire. So what drove the transition from rock and roll to country?
It was funny, like as a kid kind of growing up, you wanted to get out of Perth. You know, it's that small town trap feeling. And I think a lot of young kids go through that. And I always did love country music. It was just Aspire was the opportunity that came about. And I'm sure glad I took it, because I ended up touring North America, playing Warped Tour, meeting some of my best friends in my life. Actually, a lot of them. It was funny. I was just a guitar player in that band, and now most of them play for me. So it's like we all switched kind of roles. The singer became my bass player, drummer is my drummer. And so it's funny how that happened, but that's where it all started. And then eventually, in rock music, it's a tricky industry. It's going when you're going, and it burns out very fast. And that's kind of what happened with it. And I shipped it and moved into songwriting and country music, because that's what I kind of always want to do.
Amazing. So now you do songwriting as well. So where would you say that the inspiration behind your songs comes from?
It's tricky. Like I personally, I know there's so many answers for this question, but me personally, I do like to write about stories that I've lived or something I can relate to. Unpopular answer is I think it's fake to write a song to just be a hit or do something like that. And I know that people do it and they're good at it, but it's, for me, I've always had to kind of have a relation to it, or at least have lived part of that story to deliver it to the world, you know?
Absolutely. I definitely resonate with that. So I read a quote on your website, and I wanted to share it because it really resonated with me, and I really loved it. Music is my life. There is no plan B. Now, what was that moment for you when you knew that we all have those moments, and maybe it's not one exact thing, but kind of what was happening in your life at that time when you were like, you know what, this is it for me. I want music to be, you know, my passion, and I'm going to kind of create a life with it. What was that moment for you when you knew that you wanted to take it to the next level?
Yeah, it actually was one specific moment for me. And it was funny because music wasn't a huge thing of my life at that point. It was something that I was dabbling with, you know, piano, but I wasn't, you know, serious about it at all. My mom had an extra ticket to Def Leppard, actually. And I was like, no, I'm good. I don't want to go. And she's like, no, just come. And I remember when they started playing Pour Some Sugar on Me, and it's just got that big arena energy. I just was like, that's what I want to do. Like, I was like, I want to do that. And I was set on it. And I was like, I want to get a guitar. And my mom's like, no, we're not buying you a guitar. And so I saved up and got like a cheap $100 guitar, and I played that for a year. And then, just eventually kept going. But it was that specific moment that really made me, I don't know, something clicked in my head, and it was like, that was it.
That's amazing. And you know, there's no better feeling than being on stage and feeling all the energy from the crowd and the people watching you. And that's amazing. I love that. And I love Def Leppard. So that's great. Now, how do you feel when you hear your song being played on the radio?
I'm not going to lie. This is like the arrogant part. It's a pretty amazing feeling. I'm not going to sit there and tell people it's not. I think the best moment is when you hear it unexpectedly or unexpected. So you'll just be driving in the car and it comes on. Those are the moments that hit me. Sometimes you have your radio interview and then they'll play it right after, and it's special, but there's something about the randomness that just hits you.
Love that. And so just a couple more questions that I have for you, Matthew. So if there's somebody out there right now who happens to be watching this interview and, you know, they're like you from a small town and they have big dreams, what advice would you give to them?
Outwork everybody. It literally comes down to that. When I started this, and I mean, still the truth. There's better singers out there. There's better guitar players out there. There's better writers out there. But I have the mentality that I will outwork them. Period. That's the way it's going to be. So
definitely all about that mindset. 100%. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So what's next for you?
That's tricky with COVID. You know, where I'm kind of just planning on to continue releasing music to radio. I want to get back down to the States, but I'm not going to do that until it's safer. I know I have a lot of friends down there that are Canadian that did stay down, but it just wasn't the right thing for me. But yeah, so YouTube's a big one. A lot of people have now figured out that I'm a pretty big YouTuber as well. So that's something that I just keep building that brand and kind of doing that thing. So it just keeps building my fan base and releasing new music as well.
Yeah, and I had seen that as well. So your YouTube channel has sort of exploded over the last 5-6 months. So I read also that you're among the top 5,000 Canadian YouTube channels right now.
Yeah, I think it's actually now like 4,100 or something like that. It keeps getting bigger, and that's something I didn't expect. It was my whole life. It's always been very like, it's a slow progress to get you know, where I want to go. But YouTube, it just, I don't know, overnight it's exploded in 1 year. I think we did close to 8 million views and then almost 100,000 subscribers in probably a year. That's what we'll hit. So
that's amazing. Well, congratulations on all your success and all of your hard work that goes into that success. So many times people see the actual finished product, right? They see where somebody is and they don't see all of the hard work and sleepless nights that's poured into making something like this happen for yourself. So congratulations to you. Now, for anyone out there who is wanting to follow your YouTube channel, to find you on social media, your website, listen to your music, go ahead and give us those channels, and I'll make sure that I tag all of them in the description of this video as well.
Thank you. So yeah, it's MatthewRunaway.com is the simplest way to get to everything. Everything's linked from there. Obviously the YouTube channel, Matthew Runaway, Instagram, same thing. It's all, you know, I'm the only one out there with the unique name there. So it was just a branding tool that we have. So it's pretty easy to find Matthew Runaway on whatever you want.
Excellent. Okay. So folks, there you have it. A little look into the life of Matthew Runaway, a small town boy from the town of Perth. And if you're looking to hear his music and help support him, we will tag all of his channels in the description box of this video. Matthew, is there anything else that you'd like to add in this evening?
No, that's, you did an amazing job. Thank you so much for having me. And you can listen to music anywhere. You can stream your music anywhere.
Excellent. Thank you so much. This is Shannon McClellan with Hometown News. Together, we are community strong.